Hi everyone, it's Raphael. Thanks for clicking on the link to take you to my introduction for the P4 program. I'm just going to begin the way I ask all my clients to begin. Tuning in, noticing what's present, mind, body, emotion, spirit. I feel a little tension in my shoulders. I feel peaceful. I feel just a little self-conscious doing this video. It's just me here in my home office with a video camera and a tripod. Low tech for big reach out there into the world. So let me begin. When someone thinks about joining the P4 program, they read all that's written, they might listen to some of the audio interviews, but it's still a big commitment. It's low priced by some standards, but still for most people to spend about $200 a month working on their personal and spiritual development, in addition to the books they read and perhaps the therapy that they do or other programs like that. It's a lot. So I'm really excited and honored and delighted when anybody decides that this is going to be an essential part of their year. And I want to tell you a little bit more about why I'm so passionate about the program and why going on 8 years people have used it to transform in very deep ways. So when you arrive at the inaugural retreat, either the end of January or the beginning of February, you're meeting people who you don't know, unless of course you've been in a workshop with them and me during the previous years. But really it's a group that comes together from scratch, brought together by me, because I've selected these individuals as people who I believe will form a transformative community together. So during that first retreat, I focus on safety, I focus on communing. I want to create the bonds between people that's going to help them do the work throughout the course of the year and feel like even though they're going to be a long distance away from many of the people in the program who come from, sometimes all around the world, they're still going to feel as close as they do perhaps to some of their close friends, because this is a community of openness, of trust, of support, and vulnerability. There are no dual roles. There's no friend and spiritual supporter, or someone on a committee member at a church or in an organization who you also feel a kinship to and want to share. These people are only here for themselves and each other. And they're only here to grow and to open and to deepen along their personal and spiritual path. So there's no small talk, there's no wasted conversation. We laugh a lot, and there are ups and downs to our experiences together, but they're always shaped by that recognition of what we're here for. Something about that, I have to honestly say, is sacred to me, and certainly to the people who join in that circle of trust that we put together. Now, throughout the year, you're going to have different partners each month to do some projects, to have some phone dialogue, apart from our monthly conference call. And I'm mentioning this because some of the people in the program you'll instantly love, and you'll think, this is my long lost friend. Other people you won't connect with exactly in the same way, just like everyday life. Some people are at the beginning of their journey, some people are seasoned and have been at it for a really long time. So the point isn't to put together a group of people who are the same, it's to put together a group of people who are open-hearted and evolving towards more open-heartedness, so they can say yes to those around them, and also yes to all the parts within them more than ever before. So when you get a partner assignment for the month and you say, yay, that's great. And when you get a partner assignment for the month and you say, not so great, that's also a wonderful opportunity. And when two people hold it as an opportunity to find common ground and to support one another where it's not necessarily as obvious or easy as it could be, this is where real striking transformation takes place. So I want to tell you a little bit also about the conference calls. Some of you may be wary of conference calls. You sit around a lot and listen. And if you're in a group of 12 people plus me, you can maybe imagine yourself sitting for long periods of time, not being called on, not participating, and wondering how that's really going to work and if it's going to work for you. I want to be honest and say there are some people who just don't do phone very well, and nothing is going to make that different for them. But for many people, a technological innovation called Maestro Conference has really made a difference. And that's because we have the opportunity, using Maestro Conference, to go into breakout groups, just like we do when we're in person. So during our monthly conference calls, you'll often be in the whole circle with everybody sharing. And then I'll say, okay, now we're going to break up into groups of 3 or 4 or into pairs. And here's what I'd like you to do to take this month's theme a little bit deeper. And then you're in a virtual space with the other people in your breakout room. The others can't hear you. And I can stop by and see how you're doing and then give you the space to continue. And it allows for a degree of connection, of liveliness and variety that make the conference calls much more, I would say, helpful than before this technology was invented. So that's another piece that the writings haven't really brought to your attention that I wanted to. And then lastly, I want to say that this is one of the favorite things that I get to do throughout the course of my year, because staying with people through a whole year as a group means life happens to all of us. So in this program, people have lost loved ones, have gotten great new jobs, started great new relationships, ended relationships, dealt with serious illness. And we have the opportunity to be with each other in the way that most of us really long for and don't get to experience from many of our own loved ones. We also, through the course of the year, get to see the ways in which people reach their peak, then falter, then come back with support. And we recognize how change is messy. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step sideways, 1 step back, 10 steps forward. But as long as you're willing to keep going and you're willing to accept support in keeping going, then the movement can be profound. And we see that. We see that some people get most of what they need by March, and other people are wondering in December, and then the following January something clicks in. Or the circumstances of their lives take a while to catch up with the emotional breakthroughs that they've had during the course of the year. So it's wonderful to be in life day by day, week by week, month by month, with you as a community. And the last thing I want to say in this video is that there are many approaches to what will bring about your greatest growth. And for me, it's all about gentleness. I tell people that you can only go forward as fully and as quickly as the most tentative and the slowest parts of you can go. So this is not a program where anybody whacks anyone over the head, confronts anybody. We don't deal in those kind of harsh moments that are meant to crash you through your barriers. But for me, I have to say I'm not so certain. I think we open sometimes in those moments because we feel pressure, and then after the rubber band stretches, so to speak, it snaps back even harder. So this is really a program about love, acceptance, more acceptance of self, of others, opening, more opening, great joy, great laughter. And I can tell you that the fears that people come to the first retreat with aren't the ones they leave with. Even when we do movement and dancing, some people arrive at that with great trepidation. But when they find out that they're fully at choice, that there's no should, they can relax and exhale, and the music moves them in a new way. And that music, that dancing that I'm describing, totally optional of course, is maybe a metaphor for the whole year. I could say that what we're all doing is getting out of our own way, allowing what's best and truest in us to come through, and learning how to relax into presence, learning doing that comes from being, which is far easier and more fun than any of us ever imagined that the hard work of life could be. So if any or all of this speaks to you, I'd love to have you join us. Send me that email to rc@kushner.com. That's CUSHNIR.com, with a paragraph about why you're interested, any questions you may have. And I look forward to talking to you about it on the phone at the first possible opportunity. And if it is your year, whatever year it is in which you're seeing this video, I'm so looking forward to getting to know you, to supporting you, and to communing in the most open-hearted and loving way that I've ever seen. And it's not me, as I always tell the groups. It's the community that forms. I'm the facilitator, and as I watch you all blossom, I get, I guess, the best version of what we could call a contact high. So, until soon, and as I like to say, combining two well-known greetings into my own rascally version, Shalom Aste to you all.